How's it going, everybody? I'm Asch, the class hero.
I'm Card Dreamer, the better hero.
Gotta cut me that way, but whatever. This is going to be the start of a new series we hope to help grow us as a community. Let's talk about whatever. And we want this to be something more than, just us talking. We want you guys to get involved. We want to grow our community. We want to see you guys more as friends than subscribers.
Yeah, Ash is really good at replying to comments and giving answers to questions. I haven't been able to do that yet, but I do plan on starting. And just also so you know, the video games in the background have nothing to do with what we're discussing today. We're trying to use just random clips of games we would like to do something about, or we thought you might be interested in seeing. The name of the game is in the upper right-hand corner, as best as we can fit it. Also, the full name will be in the description down below.
The one you're seeing right now is called SpeedRunner, where it's me versus him, and he's the pink unicorn man.
I plead the fifth. So, there's a game that happens to pop up. Just look at the name. You can say, hey, I want to see more about that. Let's play or review or whatever you like. Not a problem.
But the main point of this is for us as a community to grow. We want you guys to get involved in these conversations, and we'll see what you bring to the party. So, with that being said, we're talking about add-on content.
Add-ons are such a big thing. It used to be back in the Atari, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, SNES era. There was no, console.
It was all in the game.
Yeah. If you wanted more, you waited till the next game came out. And PCs had their expansion, and that was it. You wanted add-ons for your game, wait until the expansion came out or a new game. The introduction of the Xbox original port,
PS3, with PSP, Nintendo much later.
They introduced DLC, and now it's mainstream. It's a staple of gaming that most games have some kind of add-on content. Worth or not, it's a totally different story.
That all depends on what your view is.
That's the question we're proposing.
Yeah. Overall, it's really rare to see a game that doesn't have some kind of add-on content. Like, let's start off about, types.
You have so many different types. Well, you have different types in general. There are map packs for multiplayer. There are skin packs for just your appearances in various games. You have
item content,
which is, it can be just resources. Actually, the precursor to microtransactions, Tales of Vesperia.
Gem of a game. Love that game.
And have sometimes big add-on expansions such as Destiny, or there's something that adds to the story.
Dark Souls. Perfect example.
So the question then is, why do you buy DLC or don't buy DLC? And I mean, what's your favorite one? What do you always have to get? Why do you do it? And
what plays into your purchase? Well, leading off of that, I want to talk about one of my favorite game series of all time, done by arguably one of the worst companies when it comes to add-on content, Capcom's Monster series. Back on the PSP, when I first got introduced to this series, they had add-on content, like, something new every month or so. And you had a limit of how many things you could actually download at a time for your game. And the beauty of it was, you could always swap stuff out, and it was free. It didn't cost you anything. And this content wasn't necessarily required for to complete the game or to get the full story, because this game was very just broad in terms of what you had to do. But it made it so much more fun because you either got extra gear, special items, or my favorite, challenge quests. Because there were some missions where you had to take down certain creatures in a certain area, amount of time, under certain conditions. Like find two Rajang, which are like electric gorillas, in a tiny arena, both at the same time, and they can rip your shit apart.
I don't have a specific type I like. I have more of what am I getting for it and why? I'm an achievement junkie, so the biggest reason I'm going to buy a DLC, unfortunately, is because I want achievement. Now, I avoid it if it's not one typical game that I'm necessarily needing to finish or going to finish, and it's just going to be way too hard. Call of Duty map pack are the biggest ones. I know they have achievements, I just don't have the time or the skill to sit there and complete all of them.
Or servers run out.
Servers, hackers. But I've bought games or DLC to games that I'm just not proud of.
Sesame Street.
Denial.
Don't you lie to me.
So, I mean, I want to do as much as I can. I don't have all the money in the world, though, either, so I've still got to nitpick. I do tend to avoid Capcom games, because...
all their stuff is on disc, but you got paid to unlock. That's a poor business practice.
It is, and unless there's achievements tied to it, it's a game I know I can finish, I'm not buying it. I just cannot afford to do it. And I think that, another interesting thing to look at is game developers know this too. Game developers know that a lot of people buy for it. Case in point is Goat Simulator. That game was, people have thousands that game. They gave it away for free, and after they first gave it away for free, or I should say the second time they gave it away for free when games were cool for Xbox at least, that's when a few days later they introduced DLC for expansions that have been out for that game that did not have that. So that was real shady. They know, and of course I went ahead and then bought the DLC and got all the achievements. So it was a little frustrating, but they know this, and there's people who are going to do it. I do it, but there's DLC I bought for games that have no achievements because I want to support the games. Mass Effect 2, huge case in point.
Well, speaking about Mass Effect in general, there really has not been any bad add-on content ever.
I can't, every story part of it, even if it's a small little vehicle mission in the character, I have loved it. Yes, there's the appearance pack. It didn't bother me. I bought them because I wanted to support the game. Dark Souls. There's no achievements, at least tied to the first game's DLC. It was $15, but I paid for it because...
Speaking of the first Dark Souls game, I bought the Stories of the Abyss DLC extra content, and I loved it. I mean, it was a very brief add-on, but, it just gave you a more in-depth look at the world as a whole, where this whole mess started. Artorias being the corrupted knight and having to fight him was a fun fight. Then you go down further, you meet, Linus or whatever, and his giant fist and AoE attacks, and he was the cause of the Abyss expanding. And it was great content, but it wasn't necessarily required to beat the game. It was a relatively cheap DLC add-on content for it. But after that, they just kept on growing with Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2 had all those expansions, and then there was the Dark Souls 3, all of which added on to the story and added a whole bunch of content, and it was actually worth your bang for the buck.
Yeah, there's a lot of games. This might be a controversial one, but only a game series that lately has gotten DLC that I think is kind of pointless, or was, Mega Man. I love Mega Man series. Original Mega Man, Mega Man X, they were my favorites.
We're Mega fans.
But
I do not regret that.
But when they did Mega Man 9 and 10 on the 360, PS3, and Wii, the DLC was okay, you can play as Proto Man. Okay, they introduced some time challenge. Unless you're the hardcore speedrunner gamer, I felt that was very niche, and that wasn't worth the getting. I'm not that good at the game for me to sit there and be able to do it in 2 minutes. I mean, I know the Legacy Collection has those things built in, and I'm okay with it being built in. No problem with the fact that they're there to challenge all levels of players. But to pay for it the way they were doing it, I thought was lame. Again, Capcom.
They are not best known for their content release methods. But thing is, even with those games, if you're a speedrunner and love a challenge, that's probably right up your alley, because the classic Mega Man games were hard. You had to remember the maps, and not miss a step if you want to get the fastest time. Like, I'm going to catch some flack for this. My number 9 had challenges in the game built in. Didn't require any DLC or anything. But, like, you know, that was fun.
And I'm not taking away from that. If that's your thing, by all means, I will for it.
It's whatever you have fun with.
You know, another Capcom game that was really poor Capcom. Dead Rising, the launch titles, one of the launch titles for 360. You had to pay, at the time it was Microsoft points, so I think it translated to about $1 for each point.
Yep.
To unlock, what, a hand jacket and something else for... Why? With all the stuff you could wear in that game and get throughout the course of play, not only was it useless, it was on your disc, and you weren't going to wear it very long. That to me was like the ultimate waste of money for anybody who did that.
We're going to do a later video, because we're bringing it up so much in this video.
This is definitely separate.
Release methods for content. We're definitely going to bring that up in a later video, but like, let's get back on the main subject. Overall, sometimes the add-on content, DLC, or whatnot, is not really worth it if it's already on the game and you're paying extra. And if it does nothing to enhance your experience. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Phase 2 World. There was, you know, Jill Valentine and Starro and other DLC characters that you could get that were already on the game. But they in no way enhance your experience other than having just an extra play as. Like, I keep on going back to Dark Souls, their add-on content just made your experience awesome because you just had so much story, lore, weapon content.
It's just fair to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Name a fighting game who had something added to the experience just because it was a character. The closest I can think of, interesting enough, is Killer Instinct, because they've added story modes, they've added characters, they've added everything that is enhanced. But that, it feels like where that's not even just like a traditional fighting game. That they really blew that up. But even with today's Mortal Kombat, today's Injustice 2, adding characters adding tiny little bit, it's just fun to play as. That to me is, it's not about the amount of content it's adding, that's about the fan base. Like, how much do you love characters? That one's a little iffy.
Yeah, that is iffy, and I will not deny, I did buy Starro and Jill, and, you know, the other DLC characters for that, because I enjoy those characters and they're fun to play as. That enhanced my experience personally, but overall, as a whole, if I'm buying content, we should probably get into, like, why we buy content at this point. I buy content that enhances my experience and I'm having more fun with it. Monster Hunter, or content usually free, I have no problem with that because it enhances my experience. Dark Souls absolutely enhances my experience because their content is phenomenal. Like, what about you?
Well, so basically what you're saying is if it doesn't enhance your content, that's it, you're not buying.
Well, that's usually for me. I mean, that does vary from player to player.
That's actually a very good reason. For me, like I said earlier in the video, is that achievements, yes, experience, and those are my two biggest things. If I want to support the characters, number 3, or not the character, the game, but there hasn't been Mass Effect 2 is really the biggest one. Dark Souls, the first one being the second one. For me, I bought plenty of DLC, like I said, for games that I don't even own just to complete them because I want the achievements, but then there's DLC I've avoided because I just can't do all the map packs. I'm not the biggest on multiplayer online for some reason. That's just I love when I'm playing with friends, but in general, it's just not me. So Halo's really the only map packs I've bought, or it has to be a great sale price. Like, and I don't want to get too much into pricing because it's a whole different thing. But like, I got Star Wars Battlefront Ultimate Edition not too long ago for $13 or something like that. So, okay, the season pass alone is $40, and then buying the DLC individually is even more than that. Obviously, I'm jumping on that because that's a huge deal. I'll do that, and then I'm not worried about if I get the achievements or not, but I'm getting a bigger experience.
Yeah. For me, like, I love the Tales series. We mentioned Tales of Vesperia earlier. And I played a ton of the Tales series because Bandai Namco is one of my favorite companies and developers. A lot of their content is relatively cheap, and that to me is a good thing because most of their stuff is aesthetic. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because, sometimes getting like skins, aesthetics, and stuff like that is, it does. I think it should be inexpensive by comparison to, say, story content.
I can get behind that. Lately, the last DLC I bought was for Asch and Mafia 2, and I know it's an older game. That was on the 360 for me. But the only reason I got it is because they gave the game away for free, and I never played it because I'm like, I don't want an incomplete game on my list, and it wasn't a game I was wholly interested in. Like, it seemed okay. I've heard decent things, but I wasn't going to do it. And then magically, lately, the DLC got put back. They took the DLC down because they lost licensing or something, and then it got put back on the marketplace not too long ago. So I jumped on it in case it came down again.
Which is fine.
That was the only thing. But there's games I love or would love to play that I don't have all the DLC for. Borderlands 2, I have all the achievement DLC. I have the whatever its name is, but I don't have the Creature Slaughter Dome. I don't have.
Right.
And I don't have the Headhunter series.
But that's mainly why we buy content. I buy it for, to enhance my personal experience, or I'm just have more fun with it. He buys it for, trophies, achievements, and he can complete it. And these are all valid points. There really isn't such thing as an invalid.
It's true. So we're going to wrap this up. Please, leave your comments below.
Let's get a discussion going.
Tell us, what DLC have you bought that you regretted? What DLC do you refuse to buy? What DLC have you bought and loved and you just think added to the overall experience and you will never ever regret? Let us know if there's anything you want to see us do. Hopefully we can at least do this type of video once or twice a month. We have a lot of different things we're trying to plan out. We'll have a coming channel. Our schedules are all over the place, so you just get what we give you.
Oh yeah, guys, I'm starting a new job. He's still starting a new job. You poor soul. But overall, we want you guys to join the discussion. Eventually, we're gonna get like a Twitter thing set up for this channel, but that's gonna be much later. Overall, I'm Asch and I Class Hero.
I'm Card.
Please comment. Like, you don't even have to even like or subscribe or anything. Just comment. Let's get a discussion going.
Oh, no, you have to like and subscribe. See, this is why he's a D class. He can't even promote correctly.
Look, I enjoy conversation. We want you guys in on this conversation. Come and join us.
It's true. We'll let the video play out just to get a little more of what this game is like. But you all have a good day. See you later.